Pickle, let's go to the hotline. There are 176 UIL Texas high school football teams practicing on Thanksgiving week. One of them that's doing it for the very first time are the Richmond Randle Lions through to the regional semifinals. And we're pleased to be joined by the head coach of those Randle Lions, Coach Brian Randle. Coach, how are you?
I'm well. How you guys doing?
We're doing great. Probably not as good as you, though.
I tell you what, we're grateful, very grateful.
You guys are a young program, but you're already making history. A couple weeks ago, you guys get your first playoff win in program history. This past week, you followed up with your second playoff win in program history. What is the energy around this program like right now?
Oh man, we're just super excited. The boys they're ready to go. They're ready to go. The community is behind us, and that's the biggest thing. Just the Randle community has gotten behind the boys, and the boys believe, coaches believe, staff believes, and that's what it's going to take to keep us rolling.
I want to go back to last week against Belton. You guys are coming off of a big, emotional, powerful win over Fort Bend Marshall. You followed up by taking on a very game Belton squad. How difficult was it, or not difficult at all, was it to kind of refocus your guys after such a historic win one week to say, hey, guys, we got 6 days, and then we got to play a really good team again?
Oh, it's tough. It's tough because those are games you call them trap games because you win a big game, like a huge game beating Marshall because nobody picked us to beat them. Now we knew we could play with them. We knew we could play with them, and that was the biggest thing is just getting the boys to understand, that you deserve to be here. But getting ready for Belton, we just didn't want to stub our toe. We knew we had more athletes. Honestly, we're pretty fast. We're a pretty fast football team.
You guys go out there and take care of business, and one of the things that's so remarkable about this team is that you guys are not just young, y'all are babies. y'all are real young across the board. A ton of underclassmen playing sophomores and freshmen, stuff like that. On your schedule, though, is this team ahead of schedule, or is this team where you thought they'd be?
Oh gosh, I don't want to lie and say, yeah, we knew we were going to be this good, because you never know. I mean, we got bit by the injury bug early on. Going into this season, we're down 6, 7, 8 starters, like guys that we were counting on. But when I say it's been a team and an entire program success, because it's next man up, next person step up, and they haven't let us down yet. And that's the thing. That's the one thing that we just kind of rally behind and just letting everybody know that this is a team. It's a team. It's a team effort, week in and week out.
Talking with Brian Randle, the head coach of the Randle Lions here on Texas Football Today. Get involved in the conversation. Hashtag TF Today. Coach, it's hard to talk about this team without talking about number one. Landon Callis-Williams, the freshman phenom, has been unbelievable. 1,800 yards rushing, 22 touchdowns. He's already a top prospect across the state of Texas, stuff like that. You're the guy who gets to see him in practice. You're the guy who gets to see him in the locker room. What is it about your star running back that really makes him special?
He's been here before, man. Like the kid's been here before. I've never been around a kid who's so calm under pressure. Like he just has it. He has it. We're against Marshall, and we're running a certain formation. We had him lined up at receiver, and we really weren't. Like the thing was kind of maybe use him as a decoy type thing, but it wasn't really working. So he overheard me tell the OC, put him back at the back, put him back at back or whatnot. And the kid comes up. I feel somebody pull on my shirt. Like he pulls on my shirt. He says, "Coach, put me back in, run Aggie. I'll beat him. Put me back at receiver, run Aggie." So I didn't realize he had overheard the conversation, right? So I guess he overheard us talking or whatnot. We put him back in, we run Aggie, and the kid's wide open. Now, mind you, we missed, like, it was a bad ball, so he didn't catch it. But when I tell you the kid, he'd have walked in the end zone, So having a kid like that with a mindset like that, it makes us all better. And it reminds me, hey, you got to listen to your players, because the players are the ones that play. Coach is coach, but sometimes you got to sit back and listen to your kids. And it's real unique when a freshman can go out there and point that kind of stuff out. So
Talking with Brian Randle of Richmond Randle Lions here on Texas Football Today. All right, Coach, on the other side of the ball, it's fun to look at the offense that you guys are doing. You guys are putting up fun numbers and things, but the defense is taking a step forward as well. Last year, you guys gave up about 29 points a game. This year, you guys have cut that down to under 20. What has been the difference on the defensive side that really has you guys where you are right now?
Understanding. Understanding. The biggest thing is just focus and understanding, and then just slowing things down and walking their fits. Like, we're a gap sound defense. Now, we're a multiple front, but we don't do anything crazy or too exotic. It's just being gap sounding. The kids are understanding just how to get home, be where I'm supposed to be, and then to be mad when you get there. And we've been striking people. Jared Sherman, number 5, is one of the hardest hitting kids I've ever been around. And I've been doing this for a long time.
I do have to ask, Coach. I would be remiss if I didn't ask you about doing this at the school that you're doing it at. This is the newest program, newest school down there in Lamar Consolidated ISD. The school is named after your father, Thomas, who was the superintendent, there at Lamar Consolidated ISD with the district for more than 20 years. To be making history at this program that's named after your father. What are your emotions about that?
It's unique. The biggest thing you want to do is make your family proud, right? And we talk to our boys about elevation and making, being proud of where you're from, being proud of your last name, and getting the baton and just kind of running with it. Well, it's a little tougher for me because they named the building after Dad, so we got to figure out a way to continue to just move forward and do things right, do things the right way with integrity, because my dad, he's a real good guy, man. When I tell you he's a good dude, like he is legit human being, better man than I'll ever be. And if we can just keep on winning and keep winning and keep winning and making him proud and making the community proud, we're going to be all right.
And finally, Coach, your reward, besides getting to practice on Thanksgiving, is 7 o'clock Friday night, 1 o'clock Friday at Woodforest Bank Stadium in Shenandoah. You will draw a team that you saw a couple weeks ago. Back in Week 11, you guys took on Huntsville, finished the regular season with a 35-6 win. You get them again. They have polished off a couple of really nice victories. I don't want to ask you to give away your game plan, but when you look at what you're going to be up against on Friday, what challenges do you see?
Huntsville is a very well-coached team. Coach does a great job with them. They're going to be where they're supposed to be. They're physical. They're fast. We got to keep kind of just stay the course and do what we do. Stay the course, do what we do. Don't make any mental errors, any mental mistakes. Now, their starting running back didn't play against us when we played them. So our meeting this morning, we met this morning at 8 o'clock. My team meeting, the whole thing was the concept. We talked about, they weren't, I'm going to say, I don't know, I could say a loaded gun on the air, but you know what I mean? Like they didn't have all their bullets. Does that make sense? So please don't, I'm not talking about guns, guys. Don't get me in trouble. But
we understand.
That's just, okay. All right, great. Yeah. So he didn't play. There's a couple guys that didn't play against us. So that's the whole thing I'm trying to get our kids to understand, that they didn't have a full team per se. So just don't be overconfident, because like I know, you overconfident, you'll tend to bump your head on some things. So we just got to keep our head down, put our blinders on, and stay focused, and we'll be okay.
He's Brian Randle. He's the head coach of the Randle Lions. Big game this weekend coming up against Huntsville. Coach, we sure appreciate your time. Congratulations again on all your success so far, and best of luck on Friday.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
There he goes. Brian Randle, head coach of the Randle Lions. Join us here at Texas Football Today. They're serious business. Their one loss on the year is to Lake Creek, who they might, by the way, see in the regional final if they were to get past Huntsville. There's 3 teams from that district left, with Lake Creek, Randle, and Huntsville, and P&G is the other one kind of lurking there. This is a good Randle team. That is, it's funny. He kind of hesitated when I asked him about if they're ahead of his schedule,
right?
Because they are so young. Freshman running back, sophomore quarterback, like a bunch of sophomores, juniors maybe, like a lot of youngsters, but they're playing unafraid. They're just playing their paper right now. They're letting it rip, and it's one of those things that you wonder if they're too young to understand they're supposed to be nervous.
Right.
But it was a really impressive win over Belton. They are through to the third round for the first time in program history, and they will take on Huntsville on Friday. Really excited to see what they're able to do in that one. We appreciate Coach Randle's time.
Thanks so much for watching that video. If you would like more and to be notified when they come out, go ahead and click that subscribe button right down there. You can also watch Texas Football Today every day live at noon on TexasFootball.com, Facebook, Twitch, and right here on YouTube. For more of the best coverage of Texas football in the Lone Star State, go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe.